3 steps forward and 2 steps back, right? Yeah, I've been there. I remember feeling sometimes very hopeless because I felt like I was making such amazing progress. And then I would spend 3 days in bed and can barely function. And I would want to throw my hands in the air and say, what the heck? What am I supposed to do with this? I'm never, ever going to recover, right? Have you been there? That's what these setbacks do. It's tough to have that kind of forward momentum and then suddenly you're right back, or you feel like you're right back at square one. Let's talk about that for a minute. I want to give you a little bit of hope in this video, so stay tuned. If you've watched my grief videos, then you know what I'm about to say is true. Grief is not linear. So with grief, you're going to go more like this in your recovery process, right? You're going to feel fantastic, and then you're going to feel like crap, and then you're going to be angry, and you're going to feel good for like 2 weeks. And then suddenly the anger is going to set in, or the sadness, or the depression, or you'll hit that obsession phase where this seems to last forever, right? Whatever it may be, you're going to be all over the place. And you're not going to go from one stage to one stage to one stage to one stage. You're going to go stage, back over here to this stage, back over there to that. It is nuts. I think that leads us sometimes to feel as though, what is the point? Why am I putting in all this effort? Why does it have to be this way? I hate this. And we start to feel hopeless. And sometimes we even get to the point where we're like, this would just be so much easier if I just got divorced. I mean, I can't do this. I don't want to do this. Why am I having to go through all this and he's over here doing this? I mean, so this takes us all over the spectrum of feeling hopeless, feeling defeated. What do I do with this? So let's just take a look at our healing for just a minute. Healing is like anything physical that you need to heal from. Let's take a broken bone. Let's say you're a marathon runner and you love running a marathon and you break your ankle. And the doctor says, okay, all right, well, you're going to have to stay off your foot for X amount of time. Then you got to go to physical rehab and you have to do all this stuff. Many, many, many people, a high percentage of people recovering from a physical injury will have one setback or more. That is a proven fact. It could be a setback because you try to do stuff too quickly. It could be a setback because there was a problem with the procedure. There could be a setback just because you're slower to heal. There could be a lot of things contributing to any kind of physical healing setback, right? It's just who we are as humans. We don't heal as quickly as we want to. We don't get over things. We don't recover quickly like we really want to. So that being said, it's the same thing with our heart. When we're hurting, when something's happened in our life, when we're sad, when we're angry, when we're grieving, whatever it may be, we're going to do great and then we're going to do not so great. We're going to make huge strides and then we're going to feel like we just went back to square one. The key here, both in physical healing and in spiritual and emotional healing, is that we never, ever, ever go all the way back to square one. Ever. And I would even throw in, even if you have another D-Day, you will not go back to square one. And here's why. It's because you've already become stronger because of D-Day number 1. You've already gained some skills you didn't have before because you were forced to because of D-Day 1. I had multiple D-Days. I can attest to this. It hurt just as bad. I still had to go through the grief, But the way I did it the second time around was much different and better and stronger and healthier than the way I did it the first time. So when you feel like you've hit a setback, let's just say the affair partner contacts your husband out of the blue, and you've been doing great. Everything's been great, right? And then he gets this message on his phone, and he shows you right away. He's like, hey, transparency, look what just happened. You look at that thing, and you look at him, and suddenly you are triggered beyond belief. And everything you felt on D-Day comes rushing back. Your heart starts palpitating. Maybe you get sick to your stomach if you're an anxious kind of stomach person. Maybe you get angry and you lash out at him as somehow it's his fault that she out of the blue contacted. Whatever it may be, all of that stuff comes churning back up. And within an hour or two, you're left sitting there going, great, I'm back at square one. I worked so hard. This is too daunting. I can't do this anymore. Does that sound familiar? But here's the difference. You're going to recover and bounce back from this a lot better than you did at your original D-Day. Friends, we're no different. You know, you and I remember how horrible those first few months, that first year was terrible. Terrible. But each time I felt like I had gone backwards, I realized that I was getting back to where I was so much quicker, so much more efficient. So setbacks, yeah, they're awful, they're annoying, but you are never going back to ground zero. You're only just going back this far, okay? Don't look at this as you've got to start all over. What have you learned so far? What are the tools in your tool belt? Surely you've come up with strategies and things that have been helpful. Maybe you're working with a counselor. Pull those tools back up. You had none of those before D-Day, and now you do. I want you to hear me. This is not hopeless. This is not hopeless. This is not a situation where you are going to, wake up one day and all of the progress you've made has just flown out of the window and magically disappeared. Quite the opposite. Every single time you stumble and fall, every single time you hit a setback and you feel like you've gone those 2 steps backwards, the healthiest thing to do is to get back up, brush off your knees, say, I've been here before and I know how to get back to where I was. Don't give up. I'm not talking about your marriage necessarily. I'm talking about you. I care about you. Don't let the setbacks throw you all the way into oblivion somewhere. Don't let the setbacks be a reason for you to beat yourself up. Don't let the setbacks be a reason for you to sabotage your relationship with your husband. They're only a stumbling block. That's it. You stumbled, you fell, but you know what? Get back up. Get back up. Get back up. Because if you look behind you, you'll realize you've still come a long way. And a final thought, if you don't journal, I encourage you to do that. And this is why coaches and sometimes counselors will encourage you to journal. And this helped me so much. If you have a journal and you've been writing in it, if you really want to know how far you've come, go back and read posts that you put in there, entries from early on. And then imagine yourself now and you'll be going, what? Wow, look how far I've come. A journal is literally your timeline of healing. It's the picture painted for you, saying, this is you. This is how far you've come. This is how amazing you are. Try journaling and do that. Look back. Journal for 1 month, just 30 days. And then look back and see your progress, because even if you had a setback in that 30 days, look at how quickly you turned it around. Setbacks never take you to square one. Okay, you're not at ground zero. You just stumbled. You're just a couple of sets back. That's it. That's it. You can get back to where you are and you can keep moving forward. The goal here is to continue forward momentum, and you'll be able to look back and see that progression. I want that for you, and I do believe with all my heart you can get there, okay? Setbacks are not the end of the world. It's going to be okay. Don't beat yourself up about it, and don't sabotage your relationship with your husband because of it. Get up, brush yourself off. You've got this, okay? I remember stumbling so much early on in affair recovery. I wished I'd had someone there to help pick me up and say, hey, brush off your knees, you're going to be okay. I didn't have that. I want you to have that. So I invite you to consider working with a coach to work with me. This is what I do. All right, I'm called to do this. It means a lot to me to help women just like us go through affair recovery. Down below this video are some freebies. Grab them all. The very first one listed is a video, and in it you can figure out how to contact me if you would like to do so. I look forward to a free session with you so we can see where you are and see how I can help. Remember, all right, setback is a setback is a setback. It is not the end of the world. Get up. Get back up. Because you haven't lost that much of your healing, I promise you. Brush yourself off. Keep moving forward.